So up to this point on of our matplotlib, we're able to reach to this particular point that we can able to make use of grid to actually render our I can say our graph. So what we're basically going to do in this video is actually to learn what is actually subplot, because at times, like I said earlier, we can make use of this of our title to actually differentiate the title to differentiate our graph. But as of when we have single graph on our environment, and then using title might not be really worth it. But what if we have multiple graph on a particular environment, like this of our environment right here? So title, separating them with title become a crucial stuff to do, and that is what to create multiple graph on a particular environment. That is what subplot actually does for us. So to do this, let me get this closed up. So to do this, we're going to just comment some of all these guys out. So we're going to leave this of the shoe, and then for this of the S and Y, let me just copy this S and Y. Let me go down, paste another one. So I'm just going to call it 1. The here is going to be 1. So let me just comment this Z out. So down here, I'm going to make use of that of the subplot. So we're going to plot this guy, plot these two guys again. So how can we do that? So how was called that of the plt dot what subplot, simple as ABCD. And these subplots tend to take 3 parameters, which first is that of the row, second is that of the column, and the third is what position is it going to be on. So let's say I want to plot this first S and Y as is. So which particular row is the X and the Y is going to be. So let's say I want this is more like how the size the row and the color is more like the size. So I want them to be standing upright, maybe something like this, to be standing upright. So we know that the row, I can set the row to be 1 and then the column to be 2. So you know when the column, which is that of the standing itself, is more, so it's definitely going to stand up if I'm not mistaken, and this is going to be the subplot first, this first subplot. So then with that, we can actually come down and say our plt dot what plot, our plt dot plot, what we want to plot our x comma, sorry, our x comma y, simple as that. We are going to show it. So let's actually see that take effect. Then you can actually give it title if you feel like it's actually a good idea to actually give it title. We are going to you can say print the first, or maybe plot the first graph. You can see how looking is that good is looking. So you can see this is the first one. So let's actually join another one close to it. You can see it's standing upright, 1 row and multiple column, which is 2 columns, like I will actually set here. I remember that we set this to be 1, meaning that is expecting another plot. You can set this to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, any amount of your choice that you want. So let me actually give it title. So it's going to be plt dot what title, yeah, which is title. Which title do I want to give it? Can call it plot 1 title. I think this settles it. So let me just run this. So you can see we get this plot 1 title. So let's actually do for plot 2. So it's going to be similar thing. Just copy this, then actually get rid of it. Let me put it down here, because this guy is actually different entirely. Let me actually also copy this, put it here, so we know we're dealing with something different. So I want to change the parameters of all this. Remember that I've plotted the first one. Let's do for the second one. This is for the second one, so it's going to be x1. We're trying to bring s1, and that of the x2 is still going to stand upright. So what I want to do is actually to set it to be the second particular position is going to stay, which is going to be the second one. So this is actually supposed to be y1, not y2. So this is actually the first position, actually the second position. So you see here taking first, don't need to actually set it. One here is going to be 2, so it's going to be plot 2 title. But I want to change some stuff on this, so I can set here to be something like 5, maybe something like 11. So it's going to change a little bit, and the x maybe something like let me leave it something like 3. Let me just leave it like this, so it's going to make sense. Remember that the x and the y should have to match. You don't expect the length of the x to be something like 20 and the y should be something like 4. It won't have issue, but it's always a good idea if they match. I think it will tend to make more sense. So let's actually run this and see. So we can see that we have these plot 1 title, plot 2 title. So they are different plot entirely. Remember that you can create multiple plots as you want. So in the case if you want them to be lined down, this guy, you know, you have to reduce the number of column and then increase the number of rows. So let's say I want this guy plot 2 to be lined down. And there's another thing that I can actually set, which is actually called that of the super title. Meaning super title is going to be the main title. So let me actually just copy this here. This is it. Title. This is going to be my super title. Let me just come down here. It's going to be, it's actually called subtitle. Yeah, start subtitle. So it's going to be tutorial graph. So I think everything seems to be, let's say, like I said, I want the plot 2 to actually be lined down. So I'm going to the number of row is not going to increase, and the number of column now is not going to reduce, which meaning that the row is not going to be more flat and the column is not. I don't know how I'm going to explain it, but let's actually run and see the example. Then do some experiments with this. It's going to going to actually understand the logic that's actually going on behind it. As you can see here, you can see the second title plot 2 is not lying down like how we actually expected, but the graph is not looking the best because we didn't actually format this in very well. How can this guy be standing and this guy be lying? So if you want them to be lying down, both have to be lying down. So this guy have to lie down his own way. So that's actually one of the best ways to actually do this. But you can see if you understand the logic, you can see this tutorial graph is now becomes the super title. So it's not going to be the main title, while other subplot is not going to have its own separate title. So this has simple ideology of how these subplot actually work. There are some other stuff relating to these subplots. Let me actually just make it to, I'm just going to set it to 1 and then 2. Let's actually run this again. We have this plot 1 and that of the plot 2 with the title of tutorial graph. So you can see how this was easy to actually implement. You can, like I said, you can add multiple plots as of your choice. So you can see things tend to be a little bit looking nice right now. So remember that it's not a this np.array. It's just about np.array tend to make things a little bit better, if I may say. So that's just basically it. Plot 2 title, plot 1 title, and you can see the super title, and then each of these is the plot for the first one, and this is the plot for the second one. This is the plot 2 and this is the plot 1. So that just basically, so the next video we're going to do a little bit something more simpler, I can say, but more interesting. So if you're really interested in it, make sure to check I can say, make sure to subscribe, like, also share. I don't think that will be any harm. So I'll be happy to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.